Welcome to Popcorn History with the Freeborn County Historical Museum, Library, and Village. My name is Stephanie Kibler, Executive Director here at the museum, along with Risha Lilienthal, Director, Coordinator, whatever she is, of exhibits and collections, and Reggie Bauer with Power 96. He's the Operations Manager.
Yes, I am.
Reggie Bauer. I feel like there should be a, I say that a lot.
Bauer 96.
Yeah, I like that. It's a nice little series. So it's Fair Week.
Yeah.
It is.
I had a little boy stop by as I was outside on Monday and say, "Did you know the fair starts this week?" Yes, I did. Starting to pick up in activity.
Yeah.
There's lots of coming through. We've visited the Midway twice this week, once yesterday, once today. Scavenging for food crumbs, I might say. Yeah. So today we decided our popcorns are planned out a little more. It's a little different because we're not going from topic to topic.
Yeah.
Really. We're kind of sticking with fair food.
Fair food.
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
And as we're saying that, we've got mini donuts, corn dog, cheese curds, fried pickles, caramel apple, and popcorn in front of us. And the only thing that's not being shared is the corn dog and the caramel apple because that'd be gross.
That'd be kind of, that's unsanitary.
Yeah.
So, if you've been to the fair, everybody must have a favorite fair food.
Everybody's been to some sort of fair.
Right. So, what's your favorite fair food, Reggie?
Boy, growing up, it probably would have been like the corn dogs, but more recently, cheese curds are they're like sugar high to me.
Have a cheese curd.
I'll have another one.
Go.
These are from Oli and Lena's, who they are my favorite cheese curd makers. They're always hot. They always seem fresh, and their batter is nice and light. So I really like that.
Nice.
What's your favorite fair food?
I gotta say cotton candy.
Ooh,
We don't have that today because we're going to talk about that on Friday. But
Friday we'll have
a cocktail.
a cotton candy cocktail. We might do some samples.
It just disappears in your mouth.
It does.
Literally.
It's sugary and good, and it's blue and pink.
Poof,
so it's like
gone.
Sleeping Beauty.
And it colors your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the blue's better than the pink.
Yeah. My favorite is the corn dog.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love corn dogs. And I'm assuming everybody who's gone to a fair has had a corn dog. If you haven't, you need to try one. Don't roll your eyes at me about hot dogs and whatever else. Just go eat a corn dog. And we're fortunate because we have Bruno's corn dogs here. And Bruno is the creation of an Albert Lee man named Denny Brew.
Oh, really?
Yes. He sold corn dogs and pancakes for decades. He was big on participating in fundraisers here in Albert Lee and Freeborn County. And he's left behind a legacy. And his family continues today to manage the Bruno's stand. Wow. So when I got my corn dog, I met his son and granddaughter today, which was, I didn't realize that the family was still...
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really
that
cool.
It stuck with them.
Yeah.
I saw some sort of sticker on it. When I got mine today, I saw some sort of sticker on it that said 50-year anniversary or tradition or something like that.
Yeah, so he passed away in 2017, and he'd been doing Bruno's for more than 40 years. So, so that would make sense. It's coming up on the 50th, or this is, his nickname when he was a kid was Smiley. His wife said because he always had a big, goofy smile, and she said he couldn't stop talking once he started.
Oh, wow.
So I said that to the granddaughter, who said, yep, he liked to talk.
Until you put a corn dog in.
Right, yeah.
So he did the corn dog stand known as the Weenie Wagon.
Oh,
I love that.
Oh, my.
And he did Grandpa Brew's pancakes, and he owned and operated the B&B Cafe for 24 years.
Gosh.
I just found that out today.
Wow.
I had not realized that.
And just within the last week, I went to B&B for the first time. It's super cute in there. Oh my gosh. And the food's good.
I can remember. So he must have owned it when I went as a kid, because I can remember going as a kid.
Yeah.
So he had to have been the owner at that time. Yeah. Really fun. It's a little history on the corn dog, though. And this is another one, like cocktail history we talk, it's so hard to track down
of course.
some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got lots of possibilities. facilities.
Different conflicting stories.
Yes. But according to Wikipedia, newly arrived German immigrants in Texas who were sausage makers, finding resistance to the sausages they used to make, have been credited with introducing the corn dog to the United States, though the serving stick came later. The crusty... Oh, I'm going to go to that one later. Sorry. So then also Neil and Carl Fletcher from 1942, who were vaudeville performers, they decided to start selling corny dogs at the Texas State Fair. Their son remembers the taste testing corny dogs for months while they were being perfected, so they can definitely lay claim that they created the corny dog. And Texas State Fair still serves them.
Oh, nice.
Portland, Oregon, in 1941, a small fountain shop called Pronto Pup, which everybody's heard about Pronto Pup, right?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a corn dog.
Huh.
What?
It's like another name for a corn dog. Pronto Pup, yeah.
The more you know.
Was selling its cornmeal battered deep fried hot dog on a stick. The owners were thrilled that the creation took off and became an American craze. 1941, Springfield, Illinois, the Cozy Dog Drive-In claims that they came up with the modern corn dog.
With the serving stick.
So this is sometime before 1941, they had the most delicious sandwich at a roadside diner. It was a hot dog baked inside cornbread.
Oh.
The problem, as he saw it, was it took too long to prepare. So he told his friend about it, whose dad was in the bakery business, got to work coming up with a recipe that would become the modern battered and deep fried corn dog. And they launched that Cozy Dogs in 1946. 1927, there was a patent filed for the corn dog by Stanley Jenkins of Buffalo, New York. He describes how his apparatus can be used for preparing all kinds of food impaled on a stick.
Then I just think of Olaf. Oh, look, I've been impaled.
I think when we go order, we should say, I'll have a corn dog impaled. I'll have it impaled.
Would you impale my corn dog?
Yeah, or my caramel apple, or... Oh, isn't that funny?
Every piece of fair food tastes better when it's impaled.
It's all, and then now I think of Jeff Dunham, where he's like the jalapeno on a stick. Yeah.
I've been impaled.
I love Jeff Dunham. He actually comes out with some goofy stuff,
Yeah, he
doesn't he?
does.
So I just thought that was really kind of fun on the whole, wow, so many different claims to fame on the corn dog. That's more than what we've ever had with a cocktail.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Who knew?
And, you talked about how, like, Bruno's is that they're at the fair still, like, today, serving. There's another kind of stand there that's kind of similar, and it's Merrill's Popcorn. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about this, and why not actually talk about popcorn on Popcorn History?
Right.
That's fun.
That's really funny, because when you throw out popcorn, I'm like, really?
Really?
For
on
fair?
For fair?
Well,
on Popcorn History?
And I didn't really even think about it until Linda, our librarian, Linda librarian, she, like, I asked her about fair food, and she thought immediately about Merrill's Popcorn. So I just have a few little things on the origin of popcorn itself, because...
Oh, I just had a thought. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, go for it.
So, Milton Margot Wayne just won the Fair Persons of the Year. Milt brings us fresh-grown popcorn.
Oh, they have fantastic fresh-grown popcorn.
I just had to throw that in.
Yeah, give them a little
we love the Waynes.
Oh, they're
great.
We
love the Waynes.
And popcorn itself, Charles Cretor.
I'm just going to keep eating.
You go for it. Charles Cretor of Chicago is often credited as the inventor of modern popcorn. And that was in like the 1880s. And in Chicago, so like, there's Chicago-style popcorn that you had said that you loved when we went by and were buying popcorn. But the act of popping corn itself is much older.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For a while, they thought that it was probably cultivated as a domesticated crop around 9,000 years ago.
Holy cow.
But it wasn't until 2012 that archaeologists unearthed the first evidence of popcorn in Peru. 6,700-year-old corn cob studded with puffed kernels. And so they're saying that it was probably like 10,000 years ago that people were popping.
Do you suppose they used Hope Creamery butter then?
I don't know. And if you go back far enough, too, they're saying either it's Peru, but also the Aztecs have been given credit for that. They are also chocolate. The Aztecs do chocolate, too. But popcorn wasn't really invented. It was discovered.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Somebody figured it out.
Right. And some people say that, like, cavemen used to probably have popcorn, too. Some people were saying... But
well, if you had it near a corn and got it a little too close to the fire,
right,
you'd
it would
figure
pop
out right away.
And the Aztecs used it as decorations at first, like head ornaments and necklaces, until they discovered you could eat it.
Sure.
Yeah. And it was French explorers who traveled over to the New World, to North America, discovered popcorn being made by the Iroquois in the Great Lakes region.
Wow.
Yeah. And then popcorn became hugely popular at fairs and carnivals in the mid-1800s. So street vendors were able to easily make and sell the delicious, aromatic snack food by the bag.
So here's what people will tell you about the aromatic piece of popcorn.
Oh, yeah?
If you make popcorn, people come.
Yeah.
They smell it and they come right to it.
Right. And so Merrill's popcorn we have here in Albert Lea was from Merrill M. Nelson, and he's probably best known as the guy with Merrill's popcorn stand when he had it in downtown Albert Lea. And then they transferred it into a cart and were able to, take it around. He passed in 1983 and was born in 1909 in Clarks Grove. He was a lifetime resident of Freeborn County. And he farmed until 1955 and then worked for Queen Products, which is also like the American gas machine,
sure.
all of those different iterations of that business for 2 years. And then in 1958 is when he started Merrill's Popcorn. But before that, he was stricken with polio in 1948. So he was in a wheelchair for the rest of his life after that. And he was usually, kind of... brought up a lot during, Polio Awareness Month in January. He was recognized during that time a lot. But he was known as the popcorn man around town. People knew him. He sold popcorn for 50 or 75 cents or $1, and caramel corn for $1, which was based on a special recipe, by the way. And his soft drinks were 50 cents. So his customers were mostly high school students because, when the high school was downtown, they would go there for lunch and then after school to get an after-school snack. And then after that was closed, the Nelson family converted the operations into the popcorn wagon we see today at the fair. And
you'll see it around town sometimes. At a couple of the gas stations once in a while it's set up. And
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have the weenie wagon. What would the popcorn wagon be called?
The popcorn wagon.
I don't know if the popcorn hopper would be.
Oh, I like
That's
it.
cute.
I like it, the popcorn hopper.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like popcorn, but I don't equate it to the fair. That's why, I gave you that funny look.
Yeah,
Sure.
you did. You're like, really?
I think movie theater.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I love popcorn.
And that's interesting, too, because movie theaters originally did not want to use popcorn. They didn't want to sell popcorn. They were like, it's too loud. It's crunchy.
And
what are
it's
you doing?
messy.
Yeah.
Just look.
I know. I left a trail. Little Hansel and Gretel here.
We can find our way back to the stand, probably. They filled it really full.
Yeah.
Which is good.
During the Great Depression, popcorn was fairly inexpensive at 5 to 10 cents a bag and became popular. So while other businesses failed, the popcorn business thrived and became a source of income for many struggling farmers, including the Redenbacher family.
Oh, I
who,
love
of course,
that.
we know Orville Redenbacher.
Whoa.
And during World War II, sugar rations diminished candy production, and Americans compensated by eating 3 times as much popcorn as they had before. The snack was popular at theaters, much to the initial displeasure of many of the theater owners who thought it, distracted from the films.
Yeah.
But their minds eventually changed. In 1938, a Midwestern theater owner named Glenn W. Dickinson Sr. installed popcorn machines in the lobbies of his theaters, and popcorn was making more profit than the theater tickets.
Oh, my God.
And I think that's true today.
Oh, yeah.
They're making more on that. Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh.
So how often do you have popcorn?
Oh, I'm not one who eats popcorn a lot. It's usually if I'm with people that like popcorn.
How often do you have popcorn?
I've got some microwave popcorn like in the pantry.
No.
Outside of that, no, not a whole lot. Not the original good stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I live with Pete, who loves popcorn, and I bet we have popcorn 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, I was going to say my dad's one who, like, any time we sat down for a movie, we would have popcorn.
And with COVID, we watched a lot of movies, so we've eaten
Right.
a lot of popcorn. And we always put Hope butter on it, which is just made down the road.
Well, and a good Christmas gift that my dad would get would be caramel corn. He would love getting caramel corn for Christmas. Yeah.
I, like you said, I do love the Chicago blend, though. And for
Yeah.
people who don't know, that's caramel corn, cheese corn, and regular buttered corn. That's like
And they are selling that at Merrill's.
yum.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got cheese curds in front of me, which I really didn't. That's not part of the show today.
Right.
But I got to give them a plug
Oh, yeah.
because I'm now deciding that maybe they're my favorite fair food
Yeah.
as I'm eating them. I'm going to waffle all week.
Sure.
Good.
Pick
They
a
got
different one
waffles?
every day.
I think I did see waffles.
Ooh.
Oh, no, that was a funnel cake. Never mind. Never mind.
Different.
Another favorite, though, like I close out every fair with mini donuts.
Oh.
Who doesn't love a mini donut?
Right.
I mean,
Except
I love
maybe
donuts.
Risha,
I love
who
donuts.
just witnessed how mini donuts are made
They're
today.
adorable. They just kind of pop out of the side, and then she scoops them down. They're just like, pops.
It is fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back a little further, though,
Okay.
than when mini donuts became what we know them today.
Uh-huh.
Around 1847, Elizabeth Gregory, a New England ship captain's mother, made a deep-fried dough that used her son's spice cargo of nutmeg, cinnamon, and lemon rind.
Lemon rind.
She made the deep-fried cakes for her son Hanson and his crew so they could store the pastry on long voyages and to help ward off scurvy.
Yay, scurvy.
God bless the lemon rind.
Guess so.
I don't have an Albert Lee, Freeborn County connection to mini donuts,
Okay.
but Little Orbits is a Minnesota connection. And they started doing donuts in 1974. It was the brainchild of eccentric entrepreneur Ed Anderson. The Lil Orbits donut maker has been helping people all over the world become financially independent. So what
Aw.
you saw is
Yeah.
a form of the Little Orbits.
Okay. That's cool.
And in the early 70s, they called him Edo, set to work creating the first prototype mini donut machine in his garage. He had some issues because at one point he used, what do they call that, where you're soldering it together?
Soldering iron?
It's the stuff, the liquidy stuff, like you melt that. Well, he didn't use the right stuff, so when he started up the machine melted.
oh,
So that was a
dear.
fail. That was a fail.
That's a big fail. You melt your machinery.
He did figure it out, though, clearly. And in 1975, they opened their first mall location called Little O-Nuts. Get it? O-Nuts. There was a freestanding mall kiosk. And when customers began asking about the name, confusing the kiosk with a nearby hot peanut vendor,
Oh, dear.
the name was changed to Little Orbits.
Okay.
It wasn't long before that, though, that clothing and dry cleaning stores began to complain that their textiles smelled suspiciously like donuts. And that same year, they opened their first 3 permanent donut shop locations in Minnesota. One was located in the concourse of the Minneapolis IDS Tower. And that was probably about the time that the IDS Tower was really hopping, I'm going to guess. A retired postal van was then renovated and turned into the very first Little Orbit's concession truck. The mobile concession stand went to several events, and it was sold to an independent operator who reported incredible profits. Initial success gave the Andersons the idea to bring selling machines to like-minded entrepreneurs, setting them up with their own high-profit business. So they are kind of like the... I feel like we should say thanks, Ed and Pat. Great job on bringing us all the mini donuts.
Woohoo!
Thought that was really kind of fun. And Tom Thumb happens to be, that's who's over here. There's a couple Tom Thumb mini donut vendors. That happens to be my very favorite. I can remember when they were in the 7-Eleven stores.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
So I'm thrilled. And I was kind of holding off on those for dessert for us. I was going to share them.
Oh, thank you. I was eyeing them. I love donuts.
I know, but you've never had a mini.
I haven't. And the thing is, I used to have the title Donut Maker. That was a job title I had.
Wow.
How do you not know a mini?
We didn't make those in Walmart.
No, you did not. Okay, you going to talk about the clowns you met?
I will talk about the clowns. I hate clowns, but they were fine. So both of the ones that I threw out, both of the foods that I threw out, Stephanie gave me a weird look for both of them. She was kind of like, really? Fair food? Are you sure that's what those are to you? And so caramel apples are the other ones that I thought about. And that's mainly because anytime we went to a fair or carnival or an amusement park and we were up here in Minnesota, usually we were staying at my grandparents' house. And anytime we went to one of those, we would have to bring back cotton candy for my grandpa and a caramel apple for my grandma. So anytime we went to a fair, we always brought home a caramel apple.
Sure.
And when I had asked Linda, the librarian,
Excuse me?
Linda librarian, I'm gonna go tone deaf on that pretty soon.
We'll figure it
You've
out.
only done it twice.
I know.
Really.
But when I asked her about caramel apples at the fair, she too kind of gave me a look similar to Stephanie. And when she looked into it, caramel apples didn't really become popular at fairs until the 1950s.
Oh.
That's when they started to really kind of come into fairs and carnivals. And I thought that was funny because that was like a big hop-on era for my grandma. So, they would have been like new for her there. So, in the Freeborn County Standard on June 22nd, 1887, though, I looked at caramel, and it said that caramel itself was called an American invention, if not quite a dozen years standing. So caramel is American.
Huh.
Like it originated here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I was kind of interested. That's cool. Especially because they were saying, like, in France, that's where you get most of your sweets. But America decided to make caramel. We got caramel.
So how good was your caramel apple?
It was really good. And that was the lady that we bought it from. It was that clown. If you go to the fair, you see clowns all over this
their concession stand.
Yeah, it's bright and colorful. And she said that they were clowns inside, too. They don't look like clowns.
No.
Like, they're not all painted up. But
they were very sweet.
They were fun.
They also sell snow cones.
Yep.
What else was there?
Oh, gosh.
I feel like there was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, definitely snow cones. Cotton candy.
Yeah.
But they said that their caramel apples, this was a really good apple, too. It's a Granny Smith. It was a good Granny Smith. And they hand dip their caramels every day. Daily.
And she said it's like the best caramel they can get.
It is really good caramel, yeah. Like, I make caramel and my mom makes caramel. My mom makes fantastic caramel. And this was really good, yeah.
It looked like a good one.
Yeah.
I don't bite apples, so that's not...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I cannot do it. It's a weird thing for me.
Well, especially with the caramel on it, it's hard to get down into there because you got to go through the layer of caramel first, too.
Just gives me the
yummy,
willies.
Though. But I didn't find too terribly much on the caramel apples. So I went and looked at fried pickles.
Oh, that's why you got yourself some fried pickles.
That's why I got myself some fried pickles, too, because that's very much fair food to me.
And those were really good,
These are
too.
really good. Yeah, and fried dill pickles were popularized by Burnell, quote, fat man, unquote. That was apparently his nickname.
Fat Man.
Austin in 1963 at the Duchess Drive, which was in Atkins, Arkansas. Yeah.
Leave it to those Arkansans.
Right. And I got a little bit of an article from the county fair here from 1871. It was the pantry category. And so we got peach pickles, green tomato pickles, sweet tomato pickles, cucumber pickles, California plum pickles, pear pickles, watermelon pickles. Oh, my gosh.
Watermelon pickles are so good.
And then sweet crabapple pickles.
Those are so good too.
I only think, it's just cucumber pickles. That's what I've always thought, but there's so many different kinds of pickles.
I didn't realize there was either.
Right?
My grandma, who lived on a farm just to the west of Ellendale, did watermelon pickles and the crabapple pickles.
Wow.
She did dill pickles. Trying to think what else she pickled. She probably pickled beans.
Oh.
You can pickle. Grandma's Gourmet here in town does asparagus and green beans and all.
Well, and I just got a recipe for pickled fish.
You did?
I did.
You can pretty much pickle anything.
Oh my gosh.
We should have a pickling contest.
That would be fun. And in October of 1918, there was an ad that said, "Fancy goods, keep a small supply in your pantry." And there are about 5 different kinds of pickles listed under that.
Huh.
So they were fancy goods.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
One, you had mentioned snow cones, too. And I got curious. I looked it up. And the way that kind of became a thing was during the American Industrial Revolution, after, that had made ice commercially available in the U.S., and some of the places up north, like the ice houses, would commonly sell their ice to, like, the southern states where they, the weather won't allow them to have their own so much.
Sure.
So it was common for them to sell to, like, Florida. To transport the ice to Florida, some of these ice houses would send a wagon with a huge block of ice and just send it south.
See, now I'm thinking about Frozen again. With Kristoff, with his little wagon. With his
and
ice.
Sven pulling it.
Yes. Right.
And the route to Florida would pass right through Baltimore, from New York to Florida, would pass right through Baltimore, where children would run up to the wagon and ask for a small scraping of ice.
Oh.
So before long, mothers of these children started to make flavoring in anticipation of their children receiving some ice. The first flavor the women made is still considered a Baltimore favorite, egg custard.
Oh, but that's adorable.
As it was apparently an easy flavor to make, as the only ingredients were eggs, vanilla, and sugar.
Well, sure. But that's adorable.
Yeah.
It's like the first ice cream truck.
Yeah.
It is.
It was the ice wagon.
Oh, don't you just love when you hear the ice cream truck?
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
I yell. Ice cream truck!
Come back.
Well, then I just think about getting those character ones that had the bubble gum as the eyes in there, and then the eyes were always wonky and like terrifying. When you open it up, it's like perfect on the package, but then you open it up and you're like, oh dear.
I've never gone for those like bomb pops and funky stuff. I like a fudgesicle or a orange push-up. I mean, keep it simple. No googly eyeballs.
Then you got bubble gum.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm getting full, you guys.
Oh my
Reggie's
gosh,
going to finish the popcorn.
I got more popcorn.